join us.
Thank you, ND, and I must commend your interview. I like the first and the last question because the distinguished former House of Rep member and former governor contradicted himself with the first and the last question. So that's just laughing. And these are people we grew up watching, 1979. These are names. And then, like he said, you look back today, you tell yourself, these people at a young age, 20-something, they were already occupying position of leadership. And 40-something years down the line, you're still hearing their names, forming alliance and coalition, still wanting to give you leadership. When will it be the turn of the young people? Can the young people who are more in majority sit down and say, you know what, we want to take power from these people?
They don't give you power.
Yes, and that's why they keep telling you that the electoral system is dysfunctional. It won't work because that discourages you from wanting to participate consistently. I like what Sowore is doing. Confront the odds. They tell you it's not working. Ensure that you are in there, make it work. And at the end of the day, if you are able to, if the people, the young people who wants a change truly understand that truly it is not a 100-meter dash but a marathon, you see the change. You see what they did in 2023 general election, even when people said there were no structures. But they became the structure and we saw, what happened. But what happened at the end of the day was the same pattern to frustrate, so that by 2027, you will say, I'm no more interested. And already, some persons are already buying that, I'm no more interested slogan that, oh, look at what happened in 2023. It is because it is intended to frustrate you. And that's what I tell people. It's intended to frustrate you. Look at, you talk about the alliance, the coalition. Who are those forming the coalition? They want to use the same template of 2014 for 2027. It won't work like Yorubas will say, Kolewek. Because you had different people. You had Goodluck Jonathan, and now you have Tinubu. The Tinubus were the people that used that template. The template they used against Jonathan, you want to use it against them and you think it will work. These people hold the recipe. And then look at the names. Some have been in power since 1999 till date. And some just left a few months ago. And you think Nigerians, the APC, will not dangle that before Nigerians and say, no, these people, they begin to point out their sins one after the other. And you know the good thing about this country? Those in opposition see the solutions. The opposition see the solution to all our problems. But the moment they get into office, they regurgitate the problem. Tinubu, when he was in opposition, he spoke more than Lamido is speaking now. He was the voice of the voiceless. Alhaji Lai Mohammed issued press releases 30 sometimes in a day. At the end of the day, people were like, if only these persons will get into government. And today they are in government. Everything they once criticized, they are doing, and even worse. So, and then you think that this same alliance and coalition who are outside now speaking grammar and jargons, and when you look at all of their antecedents one after the other, and you raise it and take it through an S3, you will see the same rot, the same kettle of rot. So these are the people that Nigerians should actually. That's why I said I like the last answers from Lamido. These are the people Nigerians want to run away from, and Nigerians should truly be ready to run away from. It shouldn't be like 2015, anything but Jonathan. No, it shouldn't be anything but Tinubu. It should be what is coming. We need to interrogate. What are you bringing? Not the disaster that came after Jonathan. Now that as bad as Jonathan was, is now becoming, we're now benchmarking failure. If it wasn't bad, would there be a crisis in the PDP then that 7 governors were led by Atiku and co, left the PDP national, was it Congress or the venue, created a new PDP, NPDP. Eventually, Sule Lamido and then one other governor, I can't remember now, came back, and 5, Ameachi, and led by Atiku, went and joined the APC. The same people, brought the disaster upon us. And that's why Sule Lamido is saying that the PDP is everywhere. And so, If you know what PDP stood for those days, certainly it's what the politicians stand for now, because they are everywhere.
Yeah, but the issue, this argument is quite sensible, but then the issue, somebody has to talk.
Yeah, I'm not talking about talking. Yes, it's good.
If a government...
We're all talking.
Yeah. If a government, any for that matter, is not doing what it promised the people to do,
yeah,
is not performing creditably well, I'm talking about any government, not particularly the present government, any government, somebody has to be out there talking. So what some people, the discussion is that it's not a question of perseverance and going to vote is good. But some people believe that the electoral system is not transparent enough.
Andy, let me start from talking. You see, yes, when the system is bad, everybody should, be a voice to condemn what is bad. But at the same time, in condemning it, we shouldn't make the same mistake that the civil society made during the military. The civil society all came out, fought the military, stood in the gap, and said, no, this must stop. But when it was that time for election, they took the back seats and allowed the traditional politicians, some who ran away, and some who created the problems that brought in the military in the first place, to come back. And that's what took the country to where it is today. So if we are all talking, we are all condemning, we should also not close our eyes to the fact that there are some people whose antecedents will not lead us to a new Nigeria. So we should be able to point out, yes, you are talking with us, we all agree there's a problem, but mind you, when you were there, this is what you did. You didn't do anything different. When you were there also, you were part of this rot. And so, if it's good for us, for you to join us, support us, but let us, filter those people with bad records and create new opportunities.
How do we do that?
That's what I'm telling you. That's where I'm going to. You talked about the Electoral Act. While you're fighting for Electoral Act amendment, you know fully well that the people there now will never do it. They won't give you a book or a document that will empower you to remove them from office. So as defective as it is, we only fixate our eyes on the presidency. Local government election is happening soon in Lagos. How prepared are we? That's the government that is closest to the people. The House of Assembly election. Today in Nigeria, the House of Assembly is almost an appendage of the governor's office. The House of Rep elections, the Senate election, how prepared are we? How much of participants are we in these processes? These are people who eventually will make laws for you. So if you leave it to whoever, Baba Sokpe, they said I should come and go, and Baba has said, this is your turn, and they know that anybody they bring, because you're not going to participate, they can manipulate that person there, certainly you're not going to have a new law. But if you insist that from the beginning all to the top, that the people, the way they came out to say Peter Obi or some Tinubu, some Atiku, that same way, let us use the same energy to participate in the local government election, to participate in the House of Assembly election, to participate in the House of Rep and Senate election. Certainly, we will have people who will make a difference.
So what you're saying is that, are you then saying we should neglect working out a credible, workable electoral system? Hold on.
Okay.
That is the people that can change the system by their attitude and perseverance.
Certainly, because the law does not make itself. Let me even tell you, as bad and defective as Nigeria is, there are still some very good laws. But you have people, incompetent people in position of authority who don't even want to use the law. At the end of the day, we are blaming the law. So, if you like, sit down and think that some persons there who got there through the back door are going to change the law. No, they won't change it. So what you need to do, you try that first option and you find out that they couldn't do it. Okay, what is the next option? The next option is for us to ensure that every office should count. Irrespective of how small, how minute that office, it should count. Those are the people that will eventually get there and make laws. And so by the time you have one here, two there, three there, five there, they are the ones that will make 10. And not people who will just come and say, we've created a new party. Oh, this man is in this party. We know him to be good. And everybody that goes with him, blindly you vote him. And then he gets to the National Assembly. The first thing he does is to accept a new car.
Then we begin to...
And then we begin to go around again, you know. It's a, government in Nigeria is poverty alleviation.
Oh, boy.
You look for money, Sorry, my brother.
It's, thank you. Well, Nigerians, well, we watch and hope that things work out right. That our leaders...
Let's not hope, let's work for things to work out.
You hope and work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you just said we watch and hope.
And work.
Please change the watch. Let's work and hope. Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much. Librous Oshoma there. Thank you for being on